When Bush broke out onto the scene with their debut album 16 Stone, there were instant comparisons to grunge band Nirvana. It wasn't just the band's music that was getting compared to the Seattle grunge scene, but also Gavin Rossdale's singing style. People said he sounded just like Kurt, with that grungy, gravelly voice. Add in those obscure lyrics from Bush and the comparison was set in stone. In 16 stone, you could say. See what I did there? But these are comparisons that Gavin Rossdale has never tried to hide. He actually first saw Nirvana at a show at the Roxy in LA in 1991, and from then on he was hooked. Rossdale would return back to his home of England, and this is where he formed his band, Bush. Rossdale was asked about those Nirvana influences in a 2011 interview. I thought there was immense brilliance by that band, and who made rock records that weren't influenced by them in some way, in some capacity. People are protective of the legacy that Nirvana created, I understand it, but it was a bit punitive. I don't think it would be anything like that if Kurt hadn't killed himself. It was this crazy void he left. In that void, 2 or 3 years after that, we came along. That's not to say we hadn't been struggling and playing and doing that already. There's tons of bands. The Pixies was the most influential band to me, and yet no one has ever complained about that. The complaints have always been about the Nirvana connection, and that's because people are protective, which is a great thing. It showed great loyalty, but it was a bit unfair and a bit exaggerated. Then it became the thing that went with us. So yeah, there definitely are those comparisons between Bush and those Seattle bands, especially Nirvana. As I say, Gavin Rossdale's singing style and those obscure lyrics that he would come up with definitely do bear a resemblance to Nirvana. And with their hugely successful debut album 16 Stone coming out just 8 months after Kurt had died, well, they were sure ripe for the picking to be compared to Nirvana, right? So, well, there were comparisons to Nirvana. I don't think it was such a bad thing. Bush did have their own style going on at the same time, and they were a great band by their own rights, releasing a ton of hit songs and some good quality music. But before we go, there is one extra footnote to this video, lending into the whole Bush-Nirvana-Cobain thing even more. Courtney Love, Kurt Cobain's former wife, stated that she had an affair with Gavin Rossdale while Gavin and Gwen Stefani were still together. Love claimed that her and Rossdale had an 8-month affair, to which Gavin Rossdale responded, "Gwen and Gavin would like to assure fans that anything that may have occurred prior to their marriage has no impact on their current situation. All is well within the Rossdale family." Of course, Rossdale and Stefani have split up since this, when they divorced in 2015, when Gwen discovered that Gavin had been cheating on her with their nanny. So, is what Courtney Love says there true? Well, make of that what you will. A bit of Hollywood gossip there to end the video on. So there you go, guys. That'll do it for today's video. Thanks heaps as always for tuning in. Be sure to leave a big thumbs up on the video and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And if you want to go that extra step, consider hitting that applaud button down below, and we'll catch you on the next video, guys.